It's a little late in the month when I'm filming this and when you're seeing this, but we are still going to reset for July anyway. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are going to be resetting for the month of July, which basically just means we're going to recap the month of June as it relates to finances and goals and social media and all of that stuff, and then prep for the month ahead. So let's go ahead and get started by talking about our June monthly budget. Okay, so for our goals, tasks, and to-dos lists, we wanted to invest 15% of our paychecks, which we did. Wanted to pay our monthly credit card bill, which we did. I put on here to purchase book club books, but I didn't need to purchase any. I'm in 2 book clubs. Every now and again I have to purchase a book, but it's quite rare. The last one I purchased was in May, and then maybe before that, probably a couple months prior or so, but typically I do not have to do that. I wanted to book a hair appointment, which I keep looking at the scheduler on her website, but I do not book it because I know I want to go in for a silk press to get my hair professionally maintained. I want to get a hydration treatment and just like tend to my natural hair. It's just that if I pay for a silk press, I want to be able to wear it for at least like 5 days. And it's summertime, the humidity here is wild. But not only that, I can work with the humidity. It's just that I'm swimming and doing water activities. I'm going to the beach this week, and we're going to the lake next week, and you know, all that kind of stuff. So I basically am just waiting, probably not until summer's over, but maybe I feel like I will wait until at least I go back to work, which is just in a few weeks actually. I put on here to book a laser hair removal appointment or touch up. I do keep going to the website to look at that as well, but the website is down. I can easily call, but I just keep taking it as my sign to forego spending the $19.90, which is what a touch-up would be. It's not that important. I wanted to buy my friend a birthday gift and take her to dinner. Well, her cousin ended up scheduling a big dinner, and we were trying to go just us two, but our schedules didn't align. So I did get her a gift and, you know, bought some birthday type things to take to the dinner, but she and I didn't go to dinner, which is fine. I wanted to schedule the OBGYN. This is a running to-do list, or something that's on my to-do list that will remain on here until I do it. Per my doctor, take this information with a grain of salt, but per my doctor, if you have normal vaginal health, you might say, then you don't have to go to get another pap smear or checkup for 3 to 5 years. You can go 3 to 5 years if you have normal stuff. So I'm probably at year 3. I'm somewhere between 3 and 5, but not 5. So, you know, I'll do it eventually. I have on here to do some random acts of kindness, which I did. Request my W-2s, this time from the Social Security Administration rather than the IRS. So I've done that. If they send them to me, well, I didn't get them sent to me in June, but had they done that, I would have submitted them to the department that I'm trying to submit them to. So I didn't do that. We did pay for counseling. We prepped our pool. We got our shower repaired because we had a shower issue and had to get it repaired. That was fun. That was really expensive. Donate to my cousin's fundraiser. My little cousin typically each year raises money for like a cheerleading related cause. So I donated to that. I had to go to the eye doctor. Ooh, good news. Did I put this on my good? I don't know. I'm gonna tell you in a minute when we get to the good news, bad news, lessons learned, you know, when we reflect. We'll talk about that. But I did pay my copay. I wanted to finalize our cousin's trip, which we did pretty much. Like, we know the ins and outs of it. We may, like, I feel like we have a good plan. I wanted to potentially purchase my niece a bus ticket here, but she wasn't able to come this summer, so I didn't do that. I didn't think that I had a copay for my doctor, but I just got an email, I think yesterday, that I don't think I have a copay, but I think I have an actual bill is what it's looking like. So we'll see. You know, you go to the doctor and normally you have a copay, which you normally pay, but sometimes you don't know what your bill will be, if any, until they've run it or processed it through insurance. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then I put on here to purchase patio furniture. That would be dependent upon if we had the funds, which we did not. In June, my husband and I both got 2 paydays from work. One of his was elevated, so one was higher than typical. I got a mileage check from work, and then I got some funds from the financial social work, the Center for Financial Social Work, because I got some referrals. So I just got like a big payout for, I guess, my most recent referrals. I'm looking at our expense transactions. This would include everything that we spent money on, bills and the like. We paid all of our bills, of course. I'm just gonna share some irregularities that I am noticing. One is that we spent something at Apple, or something with Apple was 29 cents. That's irregular. Let's see, we went to Lowe's and Home Depot a number of times because we were working on our landscaping. Sort of. Like, we are working on it, but we haven't made tons of progress, but we didn't spend that much money. We went to Academy Sports and we purchased, I think, a pool filter. So that was a good bit of money. That was $145.79. Let's see what else we did. We had to pay a fee for $300. Went to Home Depot again. That one was $52.99. Oh, I went and tried the new, I think, s'mores nothing bundt cake. It was mid. That was $7.29. Our tub repair was $1,500, but we paid with cards, and so we had an additional fee. So you have to tack on like 50 extra bucks for that. So $1,500 plus for our tub repair. We had to pay our annual Walmart Plus. We didn't have to, but our annual Walmart Plus subscription was due at $98 even. My husband paid a hair deposit for $15. He's getting his hair done this month. It's already scheduled. It's a, back to school hairstyle. Bath and Body Works for $17.31. I think that was my husband buying some body wash. I think he left his body wash in the Bahamas somewhere when we went for our summer vacation in June. So we replaced that. He also bought some new shoes, a pair of Air Force Ones, black ones, if you know, you know. $124.78. Dollar Tree I went to for my friend's little birthday balloons and such for dinner, $9.77. Went to Tractor Supply to get some salmon oil, I guess vitamins or something for our dog. We're trying to improve her coat, but she's so sensitive and allergic to pretty much everything. So it takes extensive research to pick anything, but $26.98. Oh, I think she got a toy too. A toy and some vitamins. Let's see. Oh, I tried Insomnia cookies for $4. An Insomnia cookie for $4.72. It was the salted caramel one. Oh, it was so good. I went to Trader Joe's for the first time. I bought my friend some wine because she couldn't make the trip. So that was $7.55. Some of these I don't understand what they are. We got our lawn tended to once for $70. Oh, we got a oil change and all that at Toyota for $92.60. For our cruise, we ended up spending $248, and then I think on the actual, that was a payment that we made before going on the cruise because we had purchased through the Carnival website. And then what we actually spent while there, which was on bingo and tips, was $150. Bingo was $66, and then the rest was tips. I'm trying to see what else kind of stood out. I see like various expenses, but like for gas and stuff, some of them were probably related to the trip to Florida, but I didn't mark which ones were which. I bought my friend a gift card from this boutique for $50. That was her birthday gift. I went in TJ Maxx and bought a few items for our trip, $87.72. My husband a few outfits and such. Oh, I bought my husband this, I TikTok shop for the first time, and I bought him this hat and shirt situation for $49.92. I bought some bathing suits from Amazon to prep for the trip, $96.90. We paid for counseling, which was $155.25. I also went to Dollar Tree to buy a bunch of snacks and like random bits and bobs for the trip or the cruise, which was $34.17. I see 2 other Amazon purchases. One is $704, one is $10.84. Dog boarding was $195. Oh, I see 2 Tractor Supplies on here. Or am I tripping? Yes. I accidentally tracked the Tractor Supply twice, so let's just delete one of them. Easy fix. And then let's see what else is on here that's standing out. Can't you see a lot is standing out to me? I logged something else twice. I'm trying to update this because when I give you the grand total of how much we spent, or when I look at it, I want it to be accurate. I don't know what's happening. Okay, we went to this free Juneteenth concert with Young Dro, Bun B, and Rocco. And we bought food and some drinks, like I think 2 drinks all together. I don't know which is which, but there's 3 transactions. One's $29.90, one's $28, and one is $19.53. I'm like tired of talking. We had to pay another fee for $141.05 when we went to Buc-ee's for not the first time, but the first time we tried their brisket and any of their food for real. And we spent $47.51. I made some kind of donation for $26. We went out to eat with our family for $62.68. My eye doctor payment was $86.23. We went back to Academy Sports and bought something else for $212.96. Oh, the first one was a fan, and then the second one was actually the pool pump. My husband had to get a new license for $32. He renewed his license for $32, and that's pretty much it. I'm literally tired of talking. So altogether, we spent $7,276.29, which was a very spendy month, particularly with the birthdays, with the trip in particular, and with the repair. It was a spendy month. So we weren't planning on saving a ton. And as you can see, we did not. Well, you can't see that you don't know that by me just talking about what I just talked about, but we didn't save any money, rest assured. Okay, now let's reflect on the month of June. Okay, so I have on here my highs, lows, favorites, and lessons. One high was dilly-dallying. So basically I just felt like for the month of June, since I didn't work because I'm on summer break, I just dilly-dallied, and that was fun. My book club meeting was a high. I don't even know where we went in June. Did we go to our little wine spot that we normally go to? Maybe. Obviously, the Carter 6 released in June, on June 6th, actually. That's Lil Wayne's 6th studio album in the Carter series. I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan. My husband too. So we had some listening parties, of course. Slow mornings. Oh, and I got free Lil Wayne tickets because, well, the album dropped and then he announced the tour. I don't miss a tour. I've been to like 15 Lil Wayne concerts and I don't miss a tour. I might miss some random shows here or there, but I don't miss a tour usually. So it was hard to pick a date that would work, but we got a date because I'm not traveling far to get to a Lil Wayne concert. So if it's not in a couple hours of me, then I'm probably not going. But we found a date that works, although it's a weird date. But either way, we had enough credit card points to get free tickets. So free Lil Wayne tickets. I put on here good lab work. Oh, I went to the doctor in June for my annual, and I would say it was the best report that I've gotten in years. So I'm in the best health that I've been in years. Not in life, but in years. I went to a D-Stash bash in June. That was a high. I put Home Alone because my husband had gone out of town. And oftentimes I'm like, what am I going to do? Because he's never out of town. You know, not that much. Maybe once a year. So I'm like, what am I going to do home alone? But I think I read, and I think I went on took myself on a solo date or two. And then I had that D-Stash bash that same weekend. So it was filled, but it was fun. We took a day trip to Columbia, South Carolina. We went to the doctor. We went to the Toyota dealership for regular maintenance, and it happened to be right before our road trip, which was convenient, but we did not need any additional car maintenance because everything that Toyota suggested that we get last time, we got done with our mechanic. I go to Toyota for all my regular maintenance and such, but if there's anything major, I'm not gonna pay Toyota 2-3 times the amount that I can pay our mechanic. So we didn't need anything because we got everything. I went on a job interview, you guys, in June, and it was the best job interview ever. And I walked away feeling like, I know they're gonna call me. I don't know if I'm gonna be the top pick, but I'm gonna be one of them. One of the top picks. And they called me, actually. So that was fun. I put on here Young Dro, Bun B, and Rocco, because seeing them was fun. I've seen probably every rapper imaginable, big ones in particular, and some small ones, but these three weren't ones that I ever dreamt of going to see, but definitely didn't mind going to see, especially for free. We went to the Bahamas. I put on here decompressing with hubby. I think that was the days after the Bahamas. And then my last high would be having good eye pressures. So my eye pressures in past years have been elevated to like 22, 23, 22, 25. They kind of vary, you know, in either eye. And because of that, I was being monitored for glaucoma. However, I went to the eye doctor last week, and my eye pressures were 18. I think I made that up. 15 and 18, maybe 15 and 18. Either way, the doctors want them to be below 21. So they were pretty below 21 if you ask me. So technically, I'm not going to be monitored for glaucoma anymore, which hopefully means that after I go back in 6 months for my annual, I won't have to keep going every 6 months, because I hate all things to do with eyes. And I've never had any eye issues. I can see well, all of that. I don't wear glasses, contacts, whatever. So being monitored for glaucoma was not fun, but also, you know, I was just like borderline too high-ish, you know? So that was good. I have normal eye pressures and therefore am not at an increased risk for glaucoma right now anyway. Let's talk about lows. Oh, we had some cracks in our concrete, which was annoying, particularly the new concrete that we just got placed because we extended our patio. So we had to have the guys come out to repair one of the major cracks, but one of the hairline cracks, you can barely see it. So we actually just told him to leave that alone. Our shower had a crack in it, for which we had to get it replaced. I put on here house dealings in general because everything about this house annoyed me probably the first 2 weeks of June, because it felt like if it wasn't one thing, it was another. My Apple Watch broke, so I no longer am wearing an Apple Watch after about 7 years of daily usage. So I'm adjusting to that. I think I will eventually get a new Apple Watch, but I'm existing without it for now. My iPhone screen broke, and my husband's did too. So we ended up replacing my husband's iPhone. He got an iPhone 16, and we repaired my iPhone screen. However, now my internal microphone does not work. That means that I can record videos and audios and whatever on my phone, but there's no sound. So if I were to get on Instagram and try to record a story, you would see me, of course, because of the video, but you wouldn't hear me. That means I can't do my talk to text feature, which I rely on. That means I can't film a voice memo. I can't film any like video clips with the audio of any sort. So I'm probably gonna ride this out for as long as I can. And then I would say I would just get a new phone whenever the newest one comes out in a couple of months, the 17, I would think. But I don't know. We're gonna see. It hasn't been that big of a deal for now, but we'll see. Me and a couple of my friends went to brunch, and the service was so bad. And then also I put on here as a low 7 days in June. I know, don't shoot the messenger. I am a Tia Williams fan. However, I felt like 7 Days in June started out so mid. Like, I wouldn't even say mid. It started out so poorly. It didn't really pick up for me until I was like 70% of the way through the book. And I have this condition where if I start a book, I have to finish it. And the reason why I do this is because 100% of the time when I am reading a book or even watching a movie, sometimes movies just don't get better. For movies, I'm not even gonna say for movies, but 100% of the time when I'm reading a book, it's starting out slow, it's not really giving. If I keep with it, although it's a difficult thing to do, it always gets better. I can't say the same for movies, but normally just in life, I have learned, especially I'm just a quitter by nature. I quit everything. So one thing that I try to do, is a condition, is that I try to just push through, because typically if I say that I'm, like if I'm feeling like I might not like it or whatever, normally it ends up not being that bad. And 7 Days in June wasn't horrific after about 70% of the way through, but the first maybe 70% was a very difficult read. Okay, let's talk about my favorites. I put on here patio enhancements because we did make some patio enhancements, of course, in June, May. I don't know. Between May and June, we extended our patio by like 4 sizes, so it's huge now. And then we kind of like just have done a few things. We purchased a side table that turns into a cooler, and then this big box, this big storage box that we can put stuff in when it's windy and stuff like that. So just a few patio enhancements that we made were favorites of mine. I put on here cooking minimally. That's a favorite because I don't love cooking. Finishing the Skyland series. So I finished book 3 in the Skyland series, which came out in May, which is called Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. And so just finishing that series was fun for me. Patio living. We have spent so much time out on the patio. I put productivity levels because like today, every few days I feel like I just get this productivity burst and I'm just super productive, which of course we're not working at this time because we're on summer break. So we're at liberty to not be productive, but it just seems like every few days I just get this burst of energy and I'm super productive. Like today, I'm gonna be super productive. If I'm filming, I'm probably being productive. That means I've gotten up, got myself together, probably gonna be productive. I read King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby, who is my current favorite author, so that was fun. That was a favorite. Champagne, I love Champagne, It Doesn't Love Me Back, was a favorite. Insomnia Cookies, or just that one cookie that I tried, was a favorite. I put Catching Up with My Peoples. Don't really know what that means, but I guess just hanging with the people that I hung with in June. My friend's birthday dinner. Oh, I got a copy of the Financial Social Work textbook. It's the first ever of its kind. The authors, Rita Wolfson, who is the founder of the Center for Financial Social Work and the founder of Financial Social Work, and Matthew Schwartz, I think is how you pronounce his name, 2 of my colleagues, wrote the Financial Social Work textbook. They had been working on it for years. It finally published in June. I ended up getting a free copy by being on the webinar, which Rita was going to give me a copy anyway, but I ended up winning one randomly. And then of course in the dedication, on the first page of the dedication, you can find my name, because me and 3 of my other colleagues who run the Financial Social Work Collaborative, which is a space or community or group for those who have been through the Center for Financial Social Work certification program, we are all in the dedication. So that was fun. The double brisket sandwich from Buc-ee's, chef's kiss. My new bathing suits are so cute and mature. Like, I love them. They're fully covered, of course, because I'm a modest girly, but I feel like they're just super mature. And they came in clutch. I debated it because I have one bathing suit that I have had for at least 10 years. I would say probably 15. It's cracking, it's falling apart. It's not a good look. And I do swim, but not enough to have multiple bathing suits. So I debated purchasing them, but I'm so glad that I did because we have a little pool. I bought them for the trip because I didn't want to keep trying to cipher through one outfit for the trip. And then of course I'm going to the beach this weekend, and then we're going to the lake. So it was just a good move to purchase them. So now I have 3 bathing suits. Look at me go. My natural hair or fro was a favorite of mine. I think I wore my hair out all of June after I took out the crochet hair. I think, yeah, for probably 3 weeks I've worn my natural hair, maybe longer. The cruise staff, shout out to, who's my guy? Ermo? I think it's Ermo, H-E-R-M-O. Shout out to him. And then the like lounge chairs, what do you call them? I call them something, but they're not called that. I think they're like the chairs, the big chairs, and they have like the cover, and they're big lounge chairs. I say those had melatonin in it because every time I lied in one, I was taking a nap. Let's talk about some lessons for June. I have on here one that I have on here all the time, which is that people talk. What this means is that if you just listen to, if you're an action-oriented person like me, and you just stop and listen to some people, a lot of the time what I notice is that there's no real action behind it. Like somebody might say, oh, we should go on a trip to Jamaica. And I'll say, let's do it. When do you want to go? Like, I'm like, let's go. And they're like, oh, you know, whatever. And then it never comes to fruition. That type of thing is something that I learned a lot about in June. Also learned how to play bingo, but like I knew how to play bingo, but I've never gone to like a bingo hall or played bingo outside of just at a little game, like at a party, like a little kiddie version. So we played bingo on the cruise, and so that was fun. I put on here, I have a heightened sensitivity to others' anxiety. Oh, that was just for June. In June, I had a heightened sensitivity, and I think it's because my level of anxiety was at an all-time low in June, as it always is when I'm not at work and having to be really responsible. And then I put on here to immerse myself in different cultures, ways of life. Oh, okay. I know why I put this. My friend invited me to this like pride event, and my first pride event she invited me to last year. And last year I'm gonna just be honest with you, I'm not uncomfortable being in that type of, being around people who have a different sexuality or gender or whatever than me. That's not the issue. My issue last year is I was just thinking like, wow, I've never been in a space where I know other people like truly are bothered by the actions of the group. And I felt kind of anxious of being in that space because of the way other people tend to treat that particular group. And by that, I mean like violence. So the whole time there last year, I was just feeling like, oh my God, like I feel like, you know, I've been in spaces where there are all black people or where there were, you know, whatever. But I just feel like, I guess growing up Christian, the way that I grew up, I just feel like some Christians or just people in general have a real issue with the LGBTQ plus community. I do not. I never have. And so it just felt like a targeted space, and I just felt anxious. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's something I would probably never tell or share with anybody, but I felt that way. So anyway, when she invited me back, I was like, I'm absolutely going. You know, like, was I putting myself in harm's way? I mean, not really. I do that all the time. Is that a space where there might be an increased level of harm or whatever? Yes. Long story short, I worked through that, of course, and I was just thinking like, while I was there, because she and I are both heterosexual, and I'm sure other people there were too, but it's clearly a space for, is created and designed for the people of that community, and of course allies, but specifically people of that community. And anyway, long story short is, because of my experience last year, which wasn't like I did not have fun. It was just like I had a little bit more anxiety than normal. I kind of feel that way in certain large events or groups, if like there's only Black people or whatever, but I really felt that way last year. So long story short, it is my duty, I feel like, to make sure I continue to immerse myself in different cultures and different ways of life, because I feel like, are you really, for the people, whoever the people are, or for the cause or the culture or the community, whatever, if you are a little on edge or anxious about being in the space, and this experience is a little different because I don't feel uncomfortable being there, but I just know that some people, and this was an outdoor event too. Anyway, it was packed just like it was last year, which is what, it's always outdoors, it's always packed. And it just feels, even though I go there often to that same place for different causes, it just felt like people were having fun, and I just kind of felt a little off kilter, if you will. But one of my goals in life is to always make sure that I am being culturally competent. It's a huge part of who I am. So I will continue to put my best foot forward in that area. While we're here, let me show you my mood board. So we have my little doggy up here, and it looked like she was doing homework with her dad. So that was fun. That's my friend Tanya. That's actually who I went to the Pride event with, but that was a different event that we went to in June. That was a birthday party. What is that? That looks like our cruise. Yeah, that's the Bahamas, me and my husband. I read The Tenant in June. That's my planner and my planner case in particular. I read Tiffany Haddish's The Last Black Unicorn in June. I read Kennedy Ryan's Can't Get Enough. That's the book club meeting. Yeah, we did go to that little wine place that we like. Lil Wayne tickets for $0. Read, that's just a compilation of all of the Carter covers. I read King of Ashes in June. That's the D-Stash Bash. That's My Husband and Me in Nassau. That's us and our cousins for our annual cousins trip. That's the Young Dro, Rocco, and Bun B concert. And then, is that all? Oh, that's me and my husband in our little pool. That's my dog. And the dog sitter's son, new son. He's just turned 1. That's them. Of course, there's another picture of my dog at the top. But yeah, that was June. June was cool because, and then my friend and her, is real small. My friend's birthday dinner. I was going to say, June was one of those months where I could have filled up that page with a bunch of photos, but I opted against it because not really necessary. I just put my favorites on there, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But there were a lot of photos that were captured in June. All right, let's talk about my June goals. For personal, I wanted to have a personal day, which I took on June 12th, which I think was one of the days my husband was gone. I wanted to read 4 books. I read The Tenant, The Last Black Unicorn, Can't Get Enough, King of Ashes, and I think that's it. I think those are the 4 books that I read. So I achieved that goal and achieved the personal day, taking a personal day goal. For self-care, I did grow my nails and buy perfume, but I didn't do any of the other things, so I'm not checking off that. For family projects, we did prep our pool, declutter my planner supplies because I was going to that bash, and then repaired our shower. So I'm not going to check it off because we only did 3 of the many home projects. I put invest 15% of our paychecks, which we did, and save whatever, which we did / didn't. We maybe saved a penny, but that's probably it. For I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm sure it was like a few dollars, but not anything worth anything. For relationships, I wanted to schedule friend dates, which I did, catch up with a friend, host family friends, which I didn't do, celebrate, help one person, go to marriage counseling, and potentially purchase the bus ticket. Obviously, we did more of those action steps than we didn't, so that's how I determine if I'm going to check it off as achieved. I did purchase the exam prep, but I did not start studying. So, I mean, that's 50%. I did one of the 2 action steps, which is 50%. So I could check it off or not if I want to. Let's do it just for the vibes, because who cares? I did not secure a sponsorship. I did plan my videos monthly, but did not film 2 videos weekly at all. I wanted to schedule my workout days weekly, which they're always scheduled, to be honest. I wanted to lose 4 pounds. I'd have to look at my tracker. You know, I always get confused on this. Let's see. Because if I gain any weight back, then I don't count that. The beginning of, oh, this was June. Oh, this is going to be, I'm probably not going to be able to do this really quickly. Let's see what I was June 2nd. And then what I was at the end of June. That's how I determine what that's like. No, 2 pounds? Almost 3 pounds, but not quite. And then low calorie, low carb. I'm gonna mark that as achieved, because if I don't gain weight, then that means that obviously I have consumed less calories and carbs and such to yield such results. If I were to gain from 1 month to the end of the month or whatever, then that's how I would know that I didn't really stick to that. So we can mark that off as achieved. Now let's talk about the final segment of this, I believe, which is the July goals. Okay, so I put on here to take a personal day. We're already into July. I put July 1st. I may change up the date. Yeah, but I just normally throw any random date on here, but I'll change the date. I want to read 4 books. Plus Size Player, because I already read the first book like last year. So I want to read this one, which just came out in June. Whispers of the Lake is one of the reads for one of the book clubs that I'm in. So I need to read that in July. I want to read My Darkest Prayer by S.A. Cosby. 7 Days in June, which I think what happened is I started that at the end of June, but I finished it in July. Yeah, that's why that's still on here, because it was brought over to the new month. But I think I finished it like the first day or 2. And then I want to read Matriarch. And then I may want to read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, I think is what her name is. And people talk about not liking the book, but I want to give it a go. For self-care, I want to schedule the OBGYN, schedule a hair appointment, schedule laser hair removal, grow nails, and buy perfume. For family, same types of stuff. In addition, buy paint so we can repair the ceiling from when the shower was messed up. And then also we got a new garage sensor from our security company, and we need to install that, which takes literally 2 seconds. Invest 15% of our paychecks, save whatever. Same stuff for relationship, literally, I think, besides buy the bus ticket. Not same stuff for career. I already bought the exam prep. Now it's time to start studying. I actually already checked off that because I've already started studying and I'm deep into my studying. I want to secure 1 sponsorship, plan my videos monthly, film 2 videos weekly, work out 3+ times per week, schedule workout days weekly, lose 4 pounds, low calorie, low carb. Basically the same stuff as always, pretty much. I just simply feel like my goals don't really change that much from month to month. So anyway, those are the July goals. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.